We're gonna install a PEEP on this factory string so that if I get out in the field and I lose a string, I can pop this string off and pop the new one on. Run it through, always remember, run it through the wax. It does two things. Helps you work with it and keeps it from fraying out while you're working with it. And it also helps it stick to itself so it works much easier while you're working with it. So there's probably, if you go online, there's probably 15 or 20 different ways to tie this PEEP. This is how I do it. I go around 5 times. 1, 2. It'll get shorter, trust me. Get that first one going and then it's a lot easier. I gotta have it on that side, okay. All right, so there's 2, 3, 4, 5. I will suck it down tight. Get this string out of the way. Give me 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suck it down tight again. Slide it down. Everything's tight. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suck it up tight. Drop this bad boy in there. And pull it tight. All right. One thing I forgot to do is take the tension off so it's not so slack. Taking the tension off of the press, putting the tension back in the string. So I got one time around, so I'm gonna do 5 around there too. That's how I remember what I'm doing. I always do everything in 5s. And this one, I just like to keep it tight because I don't like it when that bottom knot slides out. So I'll just suck it up tight and hold some pressure on it. So I did my 5 times around. I locked that last one up underneath the PEEP. I just looped it around itself, so as you pull on it, it sucks itself tighter. Now I'll do the same thing going out. So that was going into the PEEP, this is going out from the PEEP. I'm gonna get 5 wraps right here. All right, so now you got that there, hold that tight and wrap this around opposite way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then that one's gonna hang this way. So we're just gonna wrap that down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we just pull this end out and voila, we have a tied in PEEP. So I'll pull that tight, pull this tight, get a razor, Cut the ends off about 1/4 inch. Looks good, looks good. So this came with a factory string. I'll set it up, came with factory Dloop. I put the Peep in there, so now it's ready to go. I'm gonna take this off now and change out the strings. I do it one at a time, so I don't lose my place. And another thing I do is I'll take a picture. I think I already got pictures of this one, but we'll just do it again. I just take a video of how the strings are. I mainly worry about right here, how they go through that, and then how they come around right here. Make sure it comes around, up and over. Same thing on the other side. It's just the same thing, opposite side. So that's what I'll do. I got it now for reference. Okay. I will take the strings out. These are the new gas strings. We're going green and black on the SS34. So I set that there, and I'm gonna try to hold these and make sure they don't untwist. So they got a certain number of twists on them. I'm gonna try to come over here and make sure. So that's not that one, it is that one. So you see that? This is the top one. So I'm gonna set it right here. Make sure it doesn't untwist. And the reason why I said that, I'll show you. Because once I take this top one off, I need a little more space for it. Once I take this one off, then I can get to the next one. So if you slide that down there where the string's at instead of where the serving's at, it'll slide out real easily. So now we can take this bottom one off, and we know that this string is the bottom one. I'm just calling it the bottom one because it's on the bottom of the string guide. Okay, so we'll take that off the paper clip. And I like gas, their strings are all waxed up already. So flip this around, make sure we're good, and we are. So this could go right up under here. Pull this out, pull it out of place, pull this in. See, I'm trying to take care not to let it untwist while I'm doing all this. I'm trying to keep my end going the same. All right, so that one crosses over. We gotta go over, around, and through. Look at that, that's from the factory. That's number one reason why I like changing my strings out. Okay, so that one's done. Now we'll put the top one on. So, same thing, pop this one off. All right, it's on the roller, nice and tight on the roller. What do you think? Look good? Looks good. All right, I'll take these two, the cables out and put them on the paper clip. I could do that later, but do it now so it's not forgotten. Okay, now we'll do the main string. Cables are done. String is next. Oops. Keep it from twisting. All right, this little chingadera right there, that's for the Peep, so it goes on that end. All right, we'll serve this around, up, in, and hook. All right, we are on. So I'll pull it, make sure we got stuff in grooves over here on that side, and grooves over here. Looks good. Grooves over here. Looks good. Grooves down here. Looks good. Okay. Now I'm gonna let it come out of there real quick. All right, looks good. She's done. All right, we'll go put her on the vise. This new vise is freaking awesome, just so y'all know. Podium Archer, go over to podiumarcher.com for all your archery needs. He's got just about everything you want, and he's a small business. If you find a small business and they have what you want, use them. Everybody over there has been great. I'll throw this in my gear so I have my backup strings. What do we gotta do next? We gotta install a rest. So, got the fully integrated one, so we don't need the mounting arm. All right, so now this is a integrate. So what you have to do for the integrate is take the Allen that they provide, pop off the rail attachment. And we're gonna put it on, and we're gonna try to line it up as close to centered as possible. Okay, so if you line up this mark right here, that little arrow, line it up with your burger holes, it looks like it's gonna get you just exactly center shot. We'll micro adjust from there. That's what I love about these QADs. You can adjust them to exactly where you want them. All right, we got that sucker tight down there. Now we gotta put on the hold down clamp. All right, hopefully you guys are getting a good view of this. Okay, so that looks good, and we're on 0 right here. We're center of the burger hole right there. We're tight. All right, next we're gonna level this bad boy up. Get our two-way level. Put it on the string. All right, so we wanna go this is what I like about this vise the most. Once you get it there, it doesn't move nearly as much as the other one did. Make sure I'm tight. So let's get an arrow. I'm gonna be shooting these VAP TKOs this year. Everybody does this how they want, but I get it on there. I'll back it in here, pop it on the string, get my arrow or get my strings level. She is level there. I'll probably go a hair in. Okay, I don't like over tightening everything, so now I just need to get my arrow level. My arrow is level. I'll bring it in just a little bit just to make sure. Yep, it's level. Now I'm gonna look and just double check. Arrow's going straight through the burger holes. Beautiful, okay? So now I'm gonna get my silver Sharpie over here. I'm gonna mark where my D-loop's gonna go. Okay, so I got rest is installed, D-loop is marked, arrow's level, center shot looks pretty damn close. Final adjustments will be when we start tuning it. I could double check my measurement to make sure I am 13/16 off, and I think I made a mark right there for it. Look at that, boom. Boom. I'm good. So I made my mark. Some people go center, I go to the edge because I can look down and see it. So that's how I did that. So let's put D-loops and Peep. We got our silver Sharpie marks right here. Do it like this. X on. All right, depending on who you watch, they tell you different ways to tie it. I like the John Dudley way. Do a double tie here. It's just basically a shoestring knot. Do a double there. Do a double on the bottom, same thing. Tie around. Just getting us a nice little placeholder here for our knock. Okay, so I did it, I don't know if you saw that, I did it 3 times on top, 2 times on bottom. 1 time, 2 time around, suck it up tight. Okay, cut it, melt it. And I like, as soon as I melt it, I like shoving it in so it kind of melts all that wax and everything into itself. So, standard knock size, put it in. That's a little too much play, so I'm gonna work that a little bit closer. Work this a little bit closer before I finally tie it. Tight. You don't want it too tight. Like, you want a little bit of play in the knock like that, but not so tight that it pinches the knock when you pull back. Because if you pinch the knock when you're pulling back, it will make the arrow fly funny every once in a while. So, MFJJ method of tying your D-loop. Measure out 4 1/4-ish. I'm an ish guy. There's 4 1/4-ish. Cut it. Fray it out really good. He does a much better job of fraying. I don't have the patience for fraying. Okay. Melt it. I don't like it being black, but it happens almost every time, so what are you gonna do? All right, same thing, other side. Fray it out real good. Melt it up real good. I tap on it with this. All right, touch it, make sure it's not too hot. All right, now we're gonna tie. So, first one I do, how do I do the first one? I do the wrap toward me. There we go. See the wrap? That wrap right there, I do toward me. Suck that down as tight as you can. Grab your needle nose. Where are my needle nose? Over here. All right. Pull it tight. Give it a good tug. You need that good tug to give you some slack to work with on the other side. All right, so now this one, that loop, got to go the other direction. I'll show you what I mean. If I give myself enough slack to work with, Poke it up through there. There you go. Now, pull it nice and tight. Okay, see that loop's pointing this way, that loop's pointing that way. That way when you draw, it's not constantly rocking the string one direction or the other. It's always pulling against itself to try to keep the string pulling in the same position. I'll hook it underneath there, work my needle nose in there, pull them apart real good. All right, now, got to work it a little bit, get it pretty close to straight. Now I have this little Dloop stretcher. I'll put that bad boy on there. That'll give it a little bit more of a stretch, and that way it won't move much once I start shooting. Everything's gonna settle while you're shooting. Okay, now I'm gonna mark my 6 1/4. That one's way up there. And I just know it's 6 1/4 because I've shot so many of these 33 and 34 inch. That's typically where I'm at. And I will do a fine adjustment on it later if I need to, but that's my starting point. Because if you have somebody with you, it's so much nicer. You draw it back, close your eye, draw it back, put your nose on there, open your eye, and wherever you're looking at, that's where you mark it. So if you're looking right there, you mark it right there, and that's where you put your peep. Typically, I'm really close to there. So I will start there. I'll tie everything in. If I'm off a little bit, I'll loosen it up and slide it. These are my favorite peeps, the Raptors. I like a 3/16. All right, peep is tied, D-loop's tied, rest is installed. Next thing we're gonna put on is our Landslide. All right, mounting screws. Let's go mount it. Do we want to use the provided Allen wrench? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go center mount up high. Okay, so we got our 5-pin, got it mounted. I'm not gonna change much. I'm gonna loosen it up, run it up here to the top. Hopefully that'll be close to 20 when we start sighting it in. If it's not, we'll adjust here. But you need to get it mounted. Next thing, need to mount the stabilizer. And a quick disconnect for the stabilizer. Oh man, my Woods Paraworks wristlings are not here yet. When the wristling comes in, we just need to take this off and put it back on. All right. That was the hard part, mounting that. Stabilizer is mounted. I like the dead centers. Got good weight out front. Helps me feel stabilized, and it's not long. And the quick disconnect lets it go in the case easily. All right, let's try to get this back close to level. All right, that's close. Let's see, what next, guys? Oh, this is what I was gonna do. I wanna change that out. This came on there, the black string comes on the Q80s. Nothing wrong with the black string, except we're going green. I'll take this, melt it, and try to pull it so it's nice and thin. If that doesn't work, we got another trick we'll try, but let's see if it works. Nope, I didn't get enough burn, I don't think. Oh, yep, I did. Look at that. Okay, now I gotta stick it out here, cut it again. Now we want to fray it out real good so it doesn't pull itself out in case the screw gets loose. Melt it down really good. Make sure it's mushroomed out really good. Like wet your fingers, make sure it's cooled off. Suck it up in there. and tighten this bad boy back up. So I'm gonna say I'm pretty impressed that it happened that easily for me. The first few times, it was not that easy. I cried, I'm not gonna lie. There's sometimes when you're working on stuff like bows that it gets so frustrating, you just want to give up or throw something. Luckily for me, I haven't done either yet. I have taken a break, gone and drank 6 or 7 beers and given it a rest for a day or two. But always come back, never give up, never give up, never say die. All right, so this is gonna end up going down here. It's gonna need a little slack. And we're always gonna want it on the cord that goes down. So I don't think it's that one, but just in case, I'll give it a little extra slack. Rather have too much than not enough. I'm pretty sure it goes right there. So I'm gonna cut it off. And then when we get ready to shoot, I'll show you how I time it. Okay? And if you don't know how I time it, or if I don't show you a good way to time it, go over and check out Nate at Average Jack Archery. And he just did a short video on timing your dropaways. He did a cable driven, which this is cable driven. It's driven by that cable. And he did a limb driven. That's the limb, and the limb drives the rest. So this cable driven rest, and it's an integrate. Integrate just means that the QAD or the company made the rest to integrate with the bow. If it wasn't integrated, it would mount on one of these burger holes and it would have a little bar that sticks out. That's your little tech tip for the day. I should check let's do first and second axis. I don't think I can do third axis from here. Maybe. Try to get us level again. Get your old trusty dusty string level back out. Look, I'm putting it on the string. I don't know if you can see that. Putting it on the string here instead of on the serving. The serving's a little off. It'll mess you up. So, okay, so we're level. Love it. Level, level. Now, we'll put our Hamskea Gen 2 level on here. Find us a nice flat spot. Here's a good flat spot. Get it on there. Make sure we're not on any screws or anything. All right, so you see that level, and that level, they're not all the same. Just so I'm not too far off. Let me put it over here on this. I think that's about right. Yeah. So the whole thing is not square with the world. So I'm gonna put this back over here so I have access to my screws. Which I should probably get my 20 close first, but I'll just show you how I do it. The Allen that came with it. Loosen the top one. Loosen the bottom one. Tilt that so it's level with the world. Okay, first axis, check. Second axis, check. Now the only other thing I could do is when this is at full draw. Oh, come on, baby. And tilted like this, if my string is level, and my bow is level, and that level is level, I should be good. But you see, I'm not even close, so I'm not gonna mess with it right now. I'll do that when I have somebody here that can help me, because it takes 2 people. So we got the rest, got our sight, got our Peep, got our Dloop, got our stabilizer. I'm gonna go put my drawstring in, make sure I got it on the downward cable, which I'm 99% sure that one is, but I'll double check it before I install it. And then we'll time it, and then we'll shoot it. Okay, so I'm gonna pull here, and I see that cable's going down, so I know that's the down cable. All right, so now I'm gonna give it some, take some tension off of it. I'm gonna split this in half. Now when I go to shoot it, I'll set the timing on it. Actually, I'll just set the timing now so y'all can see it. Okay, okay, sounds good, sounds great. I use, because I don't trust myself, one mistake or two. I've had 2 bows freak out on me. But I'll use this safe draw mechanism. It won't fire. So what I want to do is activate the rest by drawing the string back. What that'll do, they'll pull this through. It'll pull it through until it's tight. And once it starts tightening up, it'll pull that up. That'll set the timing on it. Okay, I did it once. I'll pull it in just a hair. Take it, reset it, pull it again. Okay, now it's in time. That's the right amount of pull on that to get it done. Okay, now I'm just gonna cut that off, melt it so it won't come through, and we're good. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, click like, click subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notified. Thanks for watching.